So if you're watching this in Saudi Arabia...
Okay, we're starting. Hello, can anyone hear me? Okay, mic check. Hello everyone and welcome to HDR. Today we have France for Division 2. Yesterday was Division 3, but as the routine goes, it's Saturday, so Division 2 is going on right now. Good luck to the Haas boys. Oh yeah, you're Haas, right? Sunday in D3. We have a full grid, which is honestly pretty amazing. Let's do some telemetry. We're starting early. I mean, not early, but Husky, my partner for this stream, hasn't arrived yet, but he'll join any second now. Chocolate left the session. Interesting. Anyways, we're ready for this race. Pretty excited what Emu can do after he won last week. By the way, is my sound good? Like, am I too loud? Is the game too loud? Do I need to turn it up a bit? Charging your pad? What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? Is it better now? Okay, good. The buzzing. Nah, it's good that it's over now. Don't want to have buzzing in your ear. Anyways, a little bit reaction coming down the last two corners. Corner 14 and 15 to start the first lap here in Q1. It's gonna be dry, as it seems. Let's see what he can do for a benchmark that everyone has to beat. Coming down to T1 and 2. Two very fast, tricky corners. Very easy to oversteer and then invalidate on the left-hand side. Heading into this little section here, turn 3 to 7. Pretty easy to get wrong as well. Pretty tricky. He got it pretty clean out of there. And here is the detection zone for the DRS. And DRS will be opened for this long straight. Heading into turn 8 and 9 chicane. Here the evening terriers. Very easy to get wrong as well, as it's a pretty tricky chicane on exit. On entry you can ride the curb a lot, but on exit it's kind of tricky, but it seemed pretty well. Getting into a long right-hander before sector 3. This is, in my opinion, the most tricky sector of the circuit. Really easy to get wrong. Let's see if he can do it right. Looks pretty clean so far. Last two corners now, and that is an impede. He got very much impeded by the Mercedes there. I think it was Berkey, because he's on outlap. But anyways, Robot coming across the line to set a 132.1 and Vlov immediately betters that with a 1:30.3, but Robot's reaction got impeded quite a lot there by Berkey. Let's see who else coming across the line now. It's a Ferrari of K5M5. Oh wait, no, he is starting a lap right now. Same as Sliced Bread. Also starting a lap. We have Rafas coming across the line now. Is he gonna beat Robot's time? Yes, he is. A 30.9 and 88 jumps Rafas immediately with a 30.5. Who's gonna cross the line now? It's a Aston Martin of Shifty Waza, reserving from D3, who goes P4 after Ghost betters his time and goes P3 with a 1:30.8. There's a Red Bull coming across the line now of Mars, who goes to P2 with a 1:30.4. Next up is a Ferrari. Who is it? Of Alex, who goes to P4 now with a 1:30.6. Next up is a Alpine of, I think, Sayles. Coming across the line, DRS open. To set a lap time of a 1:31.0, who puts him P8. Next up across the line, it seems like an AlphaTauri, but could also be starting. But in the last two corners, there's a Mercedes, so of Berkey Valiant, who impeded Robot reaction quite a lot.
Not.
Is this the famous Husky?
Yes.
Let me just quickly see if the audio is good. Can you talk real quick?
Talking, testing, talking. See if it's all right.
I think it's good, but we have to get confirmation from the stream first. So if anyone can just quickly say something that it works, so you can hear Husky, then would be amazing. Or I can just check stream myself, but I have to close the game.
No, I can look it up. Might be some brief echoing, but
I'm a bit quiet compared to you, Husky. I think that's me. I think I have to talk. I mean, I'm talking pretty normal right now, but if you can turn yourself just a little bit down, Husky, then it would be appreciated. So it's even.
Yeah. Okay. I apparently cannot launch the game on this computer.
I might have a solution if I could go to Discord real quick and then turn you down.
You might just need to. Okay. I should be quieter now.
How about this? Is this a better stream? Husky, speak real quick.
Testing. Hello.
Is that better compared to me, or is that the same? Is it good now?
Hold on a minute. Some brief echoing.
Alright, we're chilling. Are you started up yet?
I can't launch the game.
Oh, okay. That's a great start.
You might just have to share a screen on this one.
Yeah?
Honestly. That might be the only way.
Alright, then I'm just gonna share my screen real quick.
Yeah. Oh, scuffed. I love it.
Welcome to HDR.
Yeah. Scuffed DR.
I think, is the quality good on my stream?
Perfect.
Great, then Chocolate, send me a friend request.
Okay.
Nothing happened so far, just a few lap times has been set. As Lucky Lemon goes really wide. He also have damage, according to the telemetry, and he goes into the pits straight away. Who else is on the lap? I think it's a Haas, and it's the Red Bull of Dreadute. He also invalidated, so let's just switch over to the Haas that is on track right now. It's Ghost, who also already set a lap time of 1:30.8, but he's going out again. Probably just up his lap time a little bit to gain confirmation to get into Q2, because there's 20 drivers, so there's 5 people who will be out in Q1.
Yep, and Ghost, who's on his first drive for Haas today, as he took the seat of Drejos, who unfortunately will not be joining us for the rest of the season. But you know, sky's the limit for this new guy, and I can't wait to see what he does.
Pretty much. He is still on the outlap. I thought he was already on the lap, but
It looks like he said a 130.8, but this might be his second time coming out.
yeah, it is the second time coming out. Only person who is on the lap right now is Dre Dude. Who is on the lap. He is already on the straight, heading down to turn 8 and 9 chicane. Pretty easy to get wrong. You can, as I said, you can ride the curve pretty well, and on exit you have to get a really good exit. And coming down to this second little straight heading into turn 10, they're long right-hander, flat out. If you can do it right. If you don't do it flat out, you must be doing something very wrong. Into the third sector now. It's a pretty tricky sector, but let's see if you can do it pretty clean. Oh, he invalidated.
As he invalidated.
Yep, he invalidated.
Unlucky.
Let's go to the next person, Ghost, who, yeah, he was on his second lap.
Now he's on his push lap, looking to improve from a 130.8.
I'm still quiet. I guess I guess I just have to talk louder then.
You just gotta speak up, man.
I gotta speak up a little bit.
Yeah. So looking back on our D3 times from yesterday, our best in Q1 was a 130.4 from Jamie Hester himself. Do you think we're going to be able to beat that across the board today in Q1, or are there going to be some stragglers who are going to be left behind?
I think there will be some stragglers to be left behind. Oh! Ghost spins around.
Unlucky. It's so easy to spin in this Sector 3. It's such a complicated and technical sector. If you don't, connect the turns just perfectly, it's just going to cause loss of grip, and you're going to end up facing the wrong way around.
That's true.
Just unlucky.
Coming down to your question again, I think there will be some stranglers. I mean, Vlov already beat our lap time in Q1, and K5 is not close behind from that lap time. But they're also track evolution, so the track is just gonna get better and better every single time people drive on the track. So we're just gonna have to wait and see. But I think there will be some stranglers around, but we're just gonna have to wait and see till the end of this qualification.
Yep, exactly. We still have 6 racers that have yet to set a lap time. It looks like Racing, Chocolate, and Jay Morris are all out on a lap right now. Those 3 historically through the season have been pretty quick in qualifying, so do our best to see what they're up to.
Yep, I'll switch over to them now.
Okay. As Racing sets a 130.6.
There you go. First race, I think, for Div 2, because he didn't drive yesterday, and he already said a P6 time of 130.6, so that is a really good first impression from him. Let's see if he can improve. But now, Lucky Lemon, who hasn't set a lap time yet, coming down to the straight. It looks like he is low on fuel. Is he gonna make the lap?
This might be cutting it close for this one. You know, in France, you run through fuel like it's nothing.
Yesterday I was already low on fuel. I had like plus 0.19 laps worth of fuel. So I was.
Yeah. I did
plus
+2 and I was still under at the end of the race.
But Lucky, let's see if he can complete his lap time. But it looked pretty clean. I didn't see his sector splits, but he is in the third sector now in the final 2 corners, turn 14 and 15. We're both really tricky corners. You have to get a really good exit here for the start-finish straight. DRS is open. Let's see what he can put down as a lap time. And he goes it's good. It's only good enough for P15, a 131.2. That is just not good enough. He has to go quicker. The last person on the track right now who is pushing and who has not set a lap time, other than Tiger, Dreaddude, Comic, and Chocolate. But I didn't see his splits, but looked pretty clean the last couple of corners. I can't say much of it. But coming across the line he goes, and he goes P1, a 1:29.9. In Q1 we're already breaching the 1:30 time. What a lap. Who else is on the lap? It's Sliced Bread, but he invalidated. For him, and also Robot Reaction and Lucky Lemon are both on the lap, but Robot Reaction in sector 3, but he has 11% of battery, so he will be quite slow across the straight. He's not gonna come into the pit lane, so he's just gonna try put this lap down here. Let's see if he can improve from a 1:30.1 across the line he goes, and he improves just a little bit. It's a 1:31.0. He improved by like just fine margins.
He improves, but not enough to improve a position.
Exactly. Unlucky for him. He's just gonna have to go out again, as there's a lot of cars in sector 1 now. He has to get across 2 cars there. That's 80.
Yep, everyone's coming flooding out of the pits right now, trying to put down a last time. I think probably getting a 1:30.6 will keep you safe from being knocked out in Q1. What about you?
I totally agree with you. I think a 1:30.8 is just good enough, but for that top 10, I think a 1:30.6 is good enough, as Tiger and begins his second sector. It says purple, but it could also be a glitch, so I'm not getting my hopes up. But across this straight and this tricky chicane, let's see what he can put down in his second sector.
Rides the curb beautifully. Slingshot out of the corner. Flat out. Try and get as far left as you can as you switch over to the right side of the track, back over to the left, hugging this left side of the track. And then easy on the brakes. And once you hit that really tight left-hander, you should be up and out of this technical sector. The rest is fairly easy to get through. I'm not certain if he's improving or not, but we will see as he crosses the line. DRS open. As he sets a 1:29.9, which is good enough for P2.
He's good. He's going to P2, and he also is the second driver to breach that 1:30.
The 1:30 threshold. Yeah.
1:30 threshold. Yeah, you're right. Only 2 drivers who hasn't set a lap yet is Comic and Chocolate, but there's only 30 seconds left in the session. And
Comic's not gonna set a lap time.
No,
he's invalidated.
Yeah. He hasn't set a lap time, so I think he is out in Q1. But Chocolate is not out just yet. He is in sector 3 right now. Let's see if he can put him above the top 15 to push Sayles out. But Sayles is also on a lap. So, but Chocolate putting down a lap time for the first time here in Q1. Let's see if it's good enough for Q2, and it is.
He goes P11, 1:30.7.
And it is good enough. But Sayles is still on the lap, but he has to improve right now, or else he's getting pushed out. The second Alpine to be pushed out of Q1, and as an Alpine driver, I do not love to see that. But Sayles coming across the line now, and he doesn't improve.
He's not good enough to improve.
The 2 Alpines are out in Q1, and that is hurting me a lot. This is a Alpine disaster class, but anyways.
Disaster class. I love to hear it.
But Rafa, Sayles, Robot Reaction, Lucky Lemon, and Comic, who didn't set a lap time, are out in Q1. That is is unlucky for them, but I didn't know what happened to Comic. Did he invalidate 2 times? What happened to him?
I think Comic might have just invalidated it every time he tried to go out on a lap.
I mean, it's really easy to invalidate, so.
It's just a very, very unlucky day for the Alpines, is what it is.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
But who are we waiting for? Because everyone has finished. So, who are we exactly waiting for? There's still cars on track, but they're probably the AI. Okay, there you go.
Okay, that marks the end of Q1. You have 5 drivers out. Luckily, 2 of them are Alpine, which is my co-commentator's team.
But here is your result in Q1. Jay Morris sets a blistering time as a D3 champion. A blistering time in Q1. Let's see if he can stay that way in further qualification sessions. But the bottom 5 drivers, Rafa, Sales, Robot Reaction, Lucky Lemon and Comic are all out in Q1. Got jump scared by Emu got jump scared by your voice, Husky. How do you feel about that?
Not great, seeing as he's my teammate. I need him to be I need him to be as focused as possible, trying to get into Q3 and hopefully set some pace on the other drivers as we move into Q2. Who do you think our top 3 positions are going to be coming into Q2?
I mean, I have high hopes for Emu, but if he just logs in and not talks in the chat, he can probably put a P1 time down, as he won last weekend. So I got high hopes for him. I think K5 will also peak a little bit, and yeah, it's just I don't really know. Maybe Vlov or Mars. They're 2 really fast drivers as well. We just gotta have to wait and see.
Right. Well, I think we're gonna have Emu, P1 coming out of Q2, followed by Flav and then Mars, or maybe K5 M5.
Interesting.
I think those are our top 4 drivers coming into this qualifying session. So we'll see where the story takes us on this one. So we have our first driver to leave the pits.
Vlov, who is looking. He is looking to win this race, but there's still a long way to go. We're only in Q2, so there's still a long way to go. Speak for the people in the back. Okay. How do I say like, oh, I think you're gonna be out? Like, I think I don't want to make a prediction on who's out, because that will be, I don't know, that would be weird in my opinion. But a lot of drivers already coming out of the pit lane. It's interesting. If I get into Q3, I'll chug 3 liters of water.
Oh.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, I have to talk. I have to still talk louder. I don't know what is good enough. I don't know.
Hey man, your levels are fine in my ears, but I guess on the screen.
I'll put a. Is this still good? Is this now good enough? I mean, I don't want to like shout, because I don't know. There's still people in my house, so I don't mean to interrupt whatever they're doing. So I just don't want to, you know. Is this good enough? Is it still too low? Because then I'll put my sound still up a bit, but. But Vlov, who is the first man to set a lap here in France in the Alfa Romeo. Alfa Romeo has been kind of cooking these 2 weekends. What do you think? What are your expectations for them this race?
Well, ever since we had our draft night where we got to see our driving lineup for D3, D2, and D1, it amazed me how one didn't get outed as rigging the draft day. You know, you have three of the fastest drivers all in one team. You know, you've got KJ up in D1, you've got Flav in D2, and then you've got Jamie Hester in D3. All three are capable of winning a plethora of races across the season. So I think Alfa Romeo has a really good chance of bringing home the constructors title this season. And you know, we're only 3 weeks in, but still, it's gonna be hard to see anyone even try and rival this team.
It's very interesting. But Vlov, puts a time in Sector 2 of a 51.0. And of course he goes purple because he is the first man to set a lap. Let's see what his Sector 3 will be, as it's looking pretty clean to this right-hander. Gotta be wide as you can, and wide again for this tricky left-hander. Oh, he missed the apex just a little bit, but now coming to turn 14 and 15, also two really tricky corners. We gotta be wide out and really sharp inwards to hit that apex really good. But now coming across the line, we will go P1, but what is the benchmark for everyone to beat in Q2? So 131.8, which is pretty slow compared to Q1.
Maybe he just wasn't pushing across the line. Because that would be slower than his Q1 time.
That is true. As Emu and Sliced Bread immediately goes P1 and P2, but Berkey says no, he reached the 130 threshold, the first man to do it, with a 129.8. Who is next coming across the line? And it's Ghost to set a 130.7, and he goes P2. It's a Ferrari now, K5M5, who goes P2 now with a 130.1. Next person to come across the line, and it's Jay Morris, who goes P1 with a 129.1. Second man to do it. Now it's Alex to go P5 with a 130.9. Next up is Dreaddude in the Alpha. Oh no, he's gonna settle up because he invalidated. Pretty interesting. Next up is Shifty Waza coming across the line. Stays P9. Okay, I think he went wide just a little bit because he's starting again, and because he is 10 seconds slower than P8. But next person to come across the line, I think it's the Haas of Tiger. Oh wait, he's setting a lap. Pretty interesting. A 2 minute 24 seconds. He's cooking. Next up is Chocolate, but he invalidated, so he's gonna go out again. I think Adiat hasn't invalidated. Yes, he will be the 11th person to come across the line to set a lap time. He's gonna probably go top 9, and he goes top 3, 130.1.
Top 3.
That is pretty impressive. Next up is I think it's Dreaddude, who is entering Sector 3 at the moment. Is this good enough?
Rise, I think they're pranking you. Your voice sounds fine.
I mean, through Discord it might be, but the volume, not the quality, but the volume. Like, is this good now?
Loud enough on my end.
Anyways, Dreaddude coming across the line now.
Red Bull driver to set a 131. Don't think that's going to be good enough to get into Q3.
I think Shifty Waza went P5, 130.7. Pretty good enough for him, and I think I didn't see pretty well, but I think Racing lap time good enough for P9, 131.0. I think only Mars and Chocolate, who hasn't set a lap time, and Chocolate invalidated, goes out of the way for the other Red Bull driver, for Dreaddude, who is I think also on a lap. Oh wait, no, that's a different person. I got confused with the colors just a little bit. I think that's Adiat who is coming into the pit lane. But let's just focus on Mars as he breaks. What is happening to him? He is not blasting any ERS. Is he even on a lap?
He may not be on a lap.
That's quite interesting.
It looks like he has fuel, so he might just be going for another flyer here.
Yeah, I think he is just waiting for the lap time too. let's just get on board with Mars. Oh, he goes into the pits.
And he goes into the pits.
That is interesting. But
7 minutes left in the session. There may be enough time to squeeze in another lap.
as we have Party Ghost, P6 on the outlap. There's only 3 drivers on the outlap right now, and Tiger, it says he's on the hot lap, but he invalidated. Hydrate. Oh shit! I don't even have a bottle with me.
You hydrate. I've got one for the both of us.
Oh damn! You have come prepared. Okay, let's just get eyes on Ghost. I'm just gonna get a hydro flask real quick.
Good
so
water.
be right back. Entertain them.
Okay. All right. So we see Ghost finishing his outlap, coming in through the final corners here. It's the Haas driver, currently in P6 with 130.7, but will need to improve before everyone else comes out and sets their second lap time. So he starts his lap. Oh, and invalidates it on turn 1. That is going to hurt, because I don't think he's going to have enough fuel to complete another flyer. Most certainly going to have to come into the pits now, as Idiot redeems 5 hydrates. I don't have that much water. Help me, I am under the water. Oh, wow. Okay. Let's see. We have Sliced Bread and Flav, both also on an outlap. I wish that I can move over to them, but
Who? I'm back.
fortunately can't.
Gee, that's
Okay,
a lot of hydration. Oh my god. Okay, wait. Okay. Let's just
I'm
take a
gonna
look
drown.
on here. Sliced Bread, who is on our lap.
Yeah.
Let me just drink my whole hydro flask real quick.
Yeah, just go ahead and down it. It's gonna be a gallon. Okay. So it looks like Sliced Bread's coming in on a lap. Don't know if he's improving yet, but looks pretty solid as he opens up his DRS flap, going down the straight into 7th into 8th, and across the line with a 130.8, with is just enough to get into P8 for Q2. May not be enough to move into the next session, as we have more drivers coming in or going out for a outlap.
I drank half of my hydro flask, so I'm very full right now. But
Yeah.
looks like Vlav doesn't have any fuel.
Oh,
That's
man.
interesting. He's currently P5 right now, and the man who has caught my eyes is at P10 at the moment. Emu, stop chatting in the Twitch and set a good lap time down, please.
Yeah. Emu, I know you can hear me. Close the stream and focus on a lap. We need to get into Q3.
For Husky's sake, please, Emu.
I need to see a McLaren in Q3 this weekend, man.
2 Alpines already went down to Q1, so my hope is over. But Husky's hope isn't.
Yep. Okay. Now, let's see. Sliced Bread is going for another lap. As we can see, Emu's starting a hot lap.
Let's just get our eyes on him.
Yep. Down through turn 1, turn 2, going wide for turn 3. Looking at the early apex, cutting corners, and then you ride the curb here, going to the left. A little bit of a corner cut. And you need to make sure you stay wide and easy on the throttle through here, as to not wheel spin and lose grip. Wide out through the corner as well. Onto the DRS straight. Ooh. It's looking good.
Looking real good. Into the chicane. Looked pretty clean as well. Now, one sector left of the track. He improves his time by 4/10, and I think that's a
4/10.
legitimate purple sector that he just put
wow.
down. So let's see if he can finish his lap, which could be a really good lap. And Adiat comes out of nowhere to set a set P1 with a 129.6. That was not expected.
In the Williams.
He is cooking.
He is cooking.
But even setting a lap time now, he is down to the final two corners. I think it was a legitimate purple sector one he said.
I think it was.
He improved his time by 4/10, but
on the pit straight across the line, 130.1. Improves by 8/10, but still not into the top 3. Maybe he's saving for Q3, maybe?
Maybe, but it's still good enough for Q3, which is everyone's goal. But
yeah.
who else is on a lap right now? It's quite difficult to see. I think an AlphaTauri will on a lap. Oh wait, no, he's starting a lap racing right now.
Let's check on Mars, the Red Bull, who hasn't set a lap yet.
Mars, who hasn't set a lap yet. It is Mars, who is coming down to the third sector. Almost a 50-second flat per second sector, which would be quite interesting to see. But let's see what his first time will be in Q2. Pretty interesting. Also Chocolate, who has not set a lap time at all. So they have to get a lap time in right now because there's only 10 seconds in the session, or else they're gonna pull a comic and just invalidate and not set a lap time at all to be out in this qualification. But it looked quite clean from Mars. I didn't see any purple sectors, but you don't need purple sectors to improve really that much. But Mars is P14 right now. Across the line he goes to P4, and that is good enough for Q3 as it stands. Good stuff from him. Also Chocolate, who has not set a lap time yet.
In the AlphaTauri, just going across the Sector 2 finish with a 50.4. Could be interesting, but I don't think it's going to be enough to get into Q3.
Let's just get our eyes on him. Adiat, that's a blistering lap from you, mate. Let's see what Chocolate can produce on his final timed lap. His only timed lap. Let's see if he's out in Q2 or he is able to improve to the final part of this qualification in France. Tiger cannot improve, he is P14, so does Racing. Chocolate can improve, and he improves to P8, and that is good enough.
But Ghost won't be able to get into Q3.
Invalidated.
Yeah, invalidated his time.
Oh no.
What about Dre Dude?
Dre Dude.
Remaining.
Yes, he does.
He does. Goes P5.
So, Ghost, who invalidated Sliced Bread, who I think retired early. Shifty Waza, Racing, and Tiger are out in Q2.
Wow. Oh that man, when the McLaren group chat is feeling it.
I think Emu stopped chatting in the chat and actually tried to put down the lap time, which is very good. Only 4 people reaching the 130 minute threshold. Let's see if more people can do that in Q3, because the track evolution is quite big in full qualification. So interesting to see, as Jay Morris has been on it this entire 2 sessions. P1 and then P2. What do you think he can produce in a Q3, Husky?
I think it might be an easy top 3 position for him, if I'm being completely honest. He's just dominated all of qualifying up until now, and it's going to be only up from here with a 129.7. He easily pushes the field away from him. He's got very few competitors coming into the 3rd qualifying session, and with track evolution and just knowing the track easily better than anyone else that's out on the field right now, seeing as his time is well out of a second than 5 positions behind him. I think it's going to be an easy either front row or a top 3 position for Jay Morris today. But we will see.
We will see.
France is tricky like that.
Yep, France is tricky like that. But there's only 3 teams who have 2 drivers in Q3. Mercedes, Red Bull and Ferrari, so
The
that's
big
enough.
3.
Good enough for their constructor points if they
Yeah.
can finish in the top 10 in the race. Nobody has gone out yet. I think Mars will go out because his mechanics are moving. So does K5 and Berkey, as there's already 3 cars in the fast lane. Who is it? I think Adiat is the first person. Yep, Adiat is the first person.
Yep. The Williams, first man out on the field. Warming up his tires to complete first lap in Q3.
He said he is not improving that time.
Yeah, I think it was what, a 129.6.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. I'm gonna go fill up my water bottle because I drained it on all those hydrations. So I will be right back.
All good. Guess I'm the one who is going to entertain the Twitch for a little bit. Adiat is trying his hardest to warm the tires. They're soft tires, so they warm up pretty easily, but they also produce tire wear pretty easily, and weaving around like that will probably 1% or 2% tire wear when he starts his lap, which is not, of course, optimal, because you rather want 0 or 1% tire wear, so he might have already a disadvantage in tire wear, but it's soft tires and it's only 2%, so not that much of a difference will be there, but he is in sector 3 right now. He's just calmly still warming up his tires, making sure he is ready for a hot lap. First hot lap here in Q3. Looks like Jay Morris is the last person who's out of the pit line, so he has to go out of the way, or else he is the second Mercedes to impede in the qualification, and Jay Morris does. He stops a little bit on the pit lane exit line, but he got out of the way pretty neatly there, so let's see if he can also do that for Chocolate in the AlphaTauri, who's about his range now. He'd probably do it. Jay Morris is a smart driver. He won the championship in Div 3 last season, so let's see what Adiat can produce as a lap time. He went P1 in Q2 and he said he was not improving that time, but Track Evolution, especially in Q3, is about, if you do the same lap, it's about 2/10, maybe 3/10 quicker. Of course, one lap is better than the other and one lap is worse than the other, so it's about how you do the lap, and if you complete a lap pretty cleanly, you get a really good time. Anyways, Adiat in the 3rd sector now. Tricky sector. Let's see if he can complete it and set his first time of Q3. Looked pretty clean on his onboard and on his offboard camera, with broadcast camera. Coming across the final 2 corners here with a little half hairpin as a final corner, trying to get a good exit as he can. DRS is open in gear 7 and then 8. Across the line he goes, and it is a 130.2, and he definitely did not improve on his lap time in Q3. But next up is Chocolate, who is coming across the line. He will not get a better time than Adiat. He is still P1. So does Emu, which is interesting, a 30.5, but Vlov is there to breach the 130 threshold. Then comes Berkey, who also breached the 130 threshold with a 129.8. Next up is, I think it's a Ferrari of K5M5. Yes, it is, as Jay Morris starts his lap. K5M5, who is a pretty quick driver in D2 as well. Pretty good he's pretty fast for the win, as he goes P1 right now with a 129.5. He is on provisional pole as it stands. Next up is Mars in the Red Bull with a 129.7. Next up is the other Red Bull of Trey Dude coming across the line. His time is only good enough for P8. There comes Alex, making it a provisional 1-2 for Ferrari. Good stuff by him. Only Jay Morris, who has just set He has not set a lap time just yet. I think he got a nice little slipstream by his teammate. He's currently P4. He's rapid. So let's see if I switched to him. Let's see if he can cook in Q3, and he might break away or split the Ferraris. Has not have been a Ferrari disaster class. It's been a master class as it stands. But let's see if Jay Morris can break that dream of a 1-2 of Ferrari. Coming across the final 2 corners now. Gotta get a best exit of this corner. Yes, slight bit of damage it says, but anyway, he's coming across the line and he splits the 2 Ferraris. As I said, he is P2 with a 129.5 or 6 even. K5M5 only went a 10th quicker than Idiot's in his Q2 lap. But that is your first run of Q3. K5, P1, and the rest. Jay Morris, Alex, Mars Berkey. Vlov only P6, which is interesting, and Emu only P9, which is also very, very interesting. Let's see if he can cook in his second run. But Jay Morris has to get to the pits as fast as he can to try and set another lap time. He is probably the last person to come across the line in Q3. But this are your Q3 runs. He nearly didn't box. That would be very unfortunate.
You know, it's cool to see. In Q3, the first drivers run, they're all separated by 1 second, with the exempting Dre Dude from that equation, of course. But the top 9 drivers are all separated by 1 second, which just shows the type of competition that we're going to have up at the top of the field.
Big competition here in Div 2. But everyone is into the pits, and Idiot is the first person. He went out pretty early. I didn't even see him coming out of the pit lane, but he's just weaving his tires, making sure they're on optimal state to put down his last run of Q3 and might improve. He is currently 0.6 down from his P1 Q2 lap, and just let's see. I think he still has a new set of soft tires, as you get one for Q3, so he's probably done his benchmark with the old tires, and then he's on the new soft tires right now. So let's see what he can put down as his last run in Q3. Also, Emu is out of the pit lane. Slowly but surely, everyone is coming out, same as a Ferrari. K5 or Alex. Let's just keep our eyes on Idiot, who is bound to start a lap in a second or 2. He is on the straight now, so let's see what he can put down. Moving into turn 1 and 2. Pretty fast 2 corners, pretty easy to get wrong, pretty easy to invalidate here on the left hand side.
Very,
he gets
very
a
easy.
sneaky little slipstream of K5M5, and that was almost a impeding, and he breaks his lap immediately.
That's going to the stewards. Yeah, that was very much impeding.
That was Alex, by the way, who also got a in game 5 grid place penalty, because that was bad. That was pretty bad. That could have been a huge crash.
Ooh, that was really good for Idiot there to recognize that he's not moving out of the way. So, you know, throw the lap out the window, save your head. You know. Yeah, that's man. The stewards were having such a good weekend. Oh man.
Everyone except for Chocolate and Jay Morris is out on track. I think Idiot will save his tires, save his ERS just a little bit to go out again.
The question is he going to have enough fuel to make another lap?
That is a good question. I mean, I always put like 3 or 4 laps worth of fuel in my car.
Yeah, I find the golden zone's 8 kg. That will get me enough to, if I mess up on the first one, I'll be able to do another.
Yeah, same. That's what I always also do. But Emu is looking to improve. He is on the lap right now, and I don't know if it's a legitimate purple sector 1, but he went about 2.7 tenths quicker. And then this straight, this Ferrari goes out of the way neatly. Then the other one, I think that was K5.
Yeah, it's both Ferraris.
Looking pretty good so far.
He's hugging the left side of the track as he sets a 49.9, which is almost 5 tenths down from his previous time. He might be on for a pole. That's a really good sector 2.
In sector 3 right now, this is the crucial sector to get right. He was about 4.8 tenths quicker in sector 2. And it must be a legitimate, I don't know if it was a legitimate purple sector 2, but it was a purple sector 2, so let's see what he can produce. He is P9 at the moment with a 30.5, but he will definitely improve. His first lap was probably on the old soft tires, now he's on the new soft tires. Into 7 and 8 gear, across the line he goes, and he sets a lap time of 129.6. It's only good enough for P3.
Wow, he looked like he was on for a provisional pole spot there, but K5, M5 can, just I know, like, you can see his heart rate's going down. He's going to keep that pole position for now, at least until another driver crosses the line. As we can see, we have
I think
both Mercedes.
I think the two Red Bulls. I think Trade Dude he invalidated, but I think Mars. Oh wait, it's not the Williams. I kept on getting the colors confused, but Idiot, he's P8 at the moment.
As you see, Idiot, 3 tenths up coming into the last straight. DRS open across the line with a 129.9, which puts him in P7.
He did not improve in Q3 as in Q2, as he goes for a stroll here. Just sightseeing just a little bit. Nice.
Looking at all the pretty barriers. Don't touch, just look.
Don't touch, just look. As Berkey sets, he's done. I think he is done. Q3 is over. K5 is still on pole. Who else is coming down to the straight? And is Mars, who's currently 2 tenths up. He's P5 at the moment, so it will be like what, a 29.5 coming across the line. He goes P1 with a 129.4. He is on provisional pole, but who can beat him? It's Emu not improving. It's K5 not improving. It could be improving. I think Alex, he is done as well. Top 5 only for him. But K5, who is looking to push him out, I think also Jay Morris is starting on finishing a lap. So let's just get our eyes on him real quick, because he's finishing the lap first. Then I don't know who.
Looking very strong. It's a 129.1 to sit provisional pole. Can Mars? Nope.
I think it was K5. K5 definitely improved, but not as much as Jay Morris, who absolutely set a blistering lap time of 129.1. The next person to come across the line is Trade Dude, and he invalidated, so he is done as well.
He will not improve. Idiot's still taking his stroll, as he's down 20, probably 40 seconds in Sector 2. And that is Q3 over and done with. You can see our top 5. Jay Morris, K5, Mars, Emu, and L Alex.
That is, you predicted. I think you predicted K5 in the top 3 or Mars in the top 3.
It was Jay Morris and K5 that I had in the top 3, and then I think I had Flav and Emu interchangeable.
Pretty accurate top 3 in my books, because you got 2 out of 3 right. But anyways,
2 out of 3. I'll take the points.
he is P1 for the first time. He is on pole in France. He is 2 tenths clear. What a lap it must be from him. If there's a 29.1 in Div 2, what do you reckon the time will be in Div 1?
Well, if we look back to our Singapore times, our Div 2 pole and our Div 1 pole were separated by, I believe, a second. I can confirm that in a bit, but if we're putting down a 129.1 end of Q3 maximum track evolution, I think we might be able to break into the maybe middle 128s for pole position in Div 1. It's a little bold, but I think it could happen.
That is true. That was Q3 over. Alright, that was the whole qualification over. And your results are on your screen right now. It's Jay Morris on P1. K5 follows him up on the front row. Mars completes the top 3 with Emu behind it on the second row. Still a very good lap time, and Alex will be pushed down 5 places. He will start P10, and Berkey will start P5, and so on. I think the biggest disappointment of this qualification is, I think, still definitely Vlov, because I know he's a fast driver, but P8?
It's just, France will really show you what you're made of. This comes down to true race pace and skill. There's nothing that you can prove other than how fast are you able to come out of these corners, because France will bring you down to your bottom line. There's just so many situations that this track will put you in. It doesn't matter how well you know the track. It really comes down to how well you know the other 2 drivers that are surrounding you. So we'll see as we load in to the initial grid here. We have our drivers that are going to set up their race strategies, and shortly we'll be on our way.
It's looking a little cloudy. I thought there was a little puddles of rain in the fast lane, but I think I'm just blind. But it's looking pretty clouded.
It's looking a little overcasty out there.
So it might have a chance to rain, or it just can be clouded the whole entire race. Which is,
it might be a backwards D3 where it's going to be wet all race, but dry all qualifying.
That should be true. I mean, Q2 and Q3 were wet, but Q1 wasn't.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, let me just set 1 lap, because I think Jundi Sunday was the 16th driver, but he also got a qualifying ban, so I just went out for a bit of practice.
Yeah.
And
I set like a 2-minute time session.
Yeah, and then I was like, okay, then I'm still saving tires for the next qualifications, and then I saw there was rain, and then and then I started on the softs to mediums, and then the game put me on my qualifying
softs, yeah.
that already was worn. So yeah, luck was not on my side.
Got the Ferrari strategies going on.
And in lap 6, I was already on, I think, like 40% tires.
Yeah, I did the same thing, but I was on mediums. I was like lap 7, and it was 40%. They were brand new tires as well.
Yeah, the tire wear is huge around here, so let's just see what the strategies will be here in Div 2.
Lots of tire degradation, but if you can keep your wheels from spinning, your tires will last a while.
As we have an inside source, aka Emu, it says it's all dry. So good enough for us. I mean, it should be a feature for like spectating, that you can see the weather, but it's not, unfortunately.
Stiffen us, man. They don't like commentators.
Yeah. It's the evil world we live in. No one
cool
pressed start.
Yeah,
we're just waiting on the green light for Mars. But what a roller. I think no one also started the race early in yesterday in Div 3 as well, and until we got the green light. So
second week in a row that we actually didn't start early. It's awesome.
Second race in a row as well, as we are on the grid. Let's see what the tires will be, as we have a ton of different strategies. Rayson and Alex are both on the soft tires, so they will probably get a blistering start compared to the rest of the people. There's only 4 drivers who are on the hards. That will be Idiot, Salus, Comic, and Ghost, and the rest will be on the medium compound of tires.
Yep. With the possible strategies of a 1-stop from a medium to hard, pit lap 13, 14, split the race in half, do one on one compound, the other half on the other compound. But then again, you do have the soft runners in here that, if they're smart, they could last the soft for 10, 11 laps, maybe fill out the rest of the session in hards, keep it at a one stop.
I mean, if there will be a safety car, then it would be amazing. Because I think the
Yeah.
one stop, if you start on soft tires, will be. My strategy was at least, it said softs till lap 11 and then the rest of the race on mediums, but I had to stop 4 laps earlier due to the tire wear. That was horrible. But
Yeah.
I think Alex and Rayson are trying to get a good start and then praying for a safety car around lap 11 so they gain a lot from it. I think the rest of the grid just trying to minimize lap time or tire wear to gain a lot. I think Adiat starting on the medium or on the hard tires on P6 is pretty interesting to me. I think he will get jumped by Vlov and maybe Chocolate on the start, because those hards they're pretty hard to get away.
Yeah, they'll last, but they're not going to be quick off the line. Man. So whenever starting in this track, you want to be on the outside, on the right side.
Yes.
It'll line up the next 2 corners perfectly for you, but you can always take the dive down the inside. We will see as our drivers regain or line back up in their positions for the start.
I started on Emu's spot on P4 and I jumped P1 and P2 on soft tires. So let's see what the drivers can do. The last drivers are lining up on the grid now for this French Grand Prix. I think 2 drivers got disqualified. It is Shayless and Love, but that is not what our attention is on right now. It is on Jay Morris, who is on P1, and the lights will be out in just a second here. As we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights here in front, and it's lights out and away we go. Who can get the better start here? I think it's K5 on P2 right now. Couldn't really get a good start. Let's see if someone can dive bomb him into T1. I think it's Emu who was looking to get that P3 spot, but it's Jay Morris on P1 just now. And K5 is looking to hunt him down for that P1 spot, as we already have a yellow flag and robot reaction tumbling down the order. I think there was a connection with 2 drivers, same as Alex, who was tumbled even more down the order. He's already 5 seconds behind of Alex, so of robot reaction. So there's 1 Ferrari driver who's doing good at the moment, and 1 Ferrari is all the way down to 20th place.
Yeah, I think as soon as he passed that T1, Alex ended up facing the wrong way. As you can see, there's already 4, maybe 5 seconds separating him and the rest of the pack, so only unfortunate things could have happened in that first turn. Especially being on softs, that's a huge cut.
As people just trying to gain that slipstream, Emu is really close to Mars, as Mars had to defend a little bit here in turn 10. I believe it's turn 10 here. Now the third sector of this race. I think K5, he is not losing, but he is also not gaining a lot of time on Jay Morris. I think he's just trying to stay with him as long as he can. Maybe get DRS on lap 3 and then gain the position before the pit stop phase. Of course, Jay Morris sets the fastest lap, heading into lap 2 now. As Alex, his weekend is not going good. He is tumbled down the order and he retires immediately in the pit lane.
Wow. You gotta think, maybe he picked up some rear wing damage from the collision.
Could be. It's a rough race for him. But Racing and Comic doing a 1 lap pit stop, so they must have wing damage of some sort. As we have Emu trying to gain that top 3 position. He's side by side with Mars, heading into the turn 8 and 9 chicane, and he is ahead on the chicane. Beautiful move by him. He is known as making really clean moves, as we saw in Singapore. They lost a little bit of time on the top 2, already 1.1 seconds behind. But now we can see Emu's pace in a little bit of a free air situation. That would not be that free if he can catch K5, M5 and J Morris up, but let's see what his pace will be in these couple of laps.
Yeah, I think being behind Mars for the first couple of laps slowed him down a little bit. As you can see, the delta between him and P2 is out of DRS range now from K5. He's just trying to make up that time and reduce the amount of space in between him and the front leaders here. As you can see, Jay Morris and K5 are going off onto their own as the packs start to form. K5 with a 133.6 fastest lap, maintaining that half a second interval between him and Jay Morris, who is the front runner right now.
The DRS is activated this lap, and he is only 4/10 behind. So if he can get a good exit here on turn 6 and 7, he might as well get that P1 spot. He lost 1/10 in that little section, 5/10 behind now, but the DRS is pretty long around this straight. Let's see if they can gain that slipstream, maybe do a dive bomb, but I don't think he will. He does a little fake and he goes a little bit onto the rumble strips. I think that was miscalculated just a little bit. I think he wanted to fake him out because I think he knows it's not really that smart to make aggressive moves that early on in the race, but he is gaining that slipstream. He is gaining on him. Didn't use any battery, so it's full on slipstream. He had to lift just a little bit. Into sector 3 we go.
I mean, K5 is just doing a brilliant job of not letting up on Jay Morris. Absolutely no space in between them. It's just beautiful work right here. Maintaining the distance. Less than 4/10 between the two. Unfortunately, Emu is starting to drop back a little bit, losing about 2/10 a lap.
Unlucky for him, but we got a request to spectate Tiger, so we'll just spectate him for a little bit because top 3 race is quite exciting, but he is in the slipstream of Lucky Lemon. I think it might be a little bit of a train, but I also see he drained all his battery, as you can see, of his flashing red lights on the back of his car as he's trying to make a move on Lucky Lemon here. This is pretty difficult to make a move or dive bomb him or dive bomb someone here. So he's just trying to just stay behind him just a little bit. I think there's a little bit of a train starting to form behind Vlov, as there's a lot of cars here in just a few, just 1/10. A lot of chaos, but let's see if Tiger can get that good exit as Comic gets the fastest lap and Jay Morris and K5 are fighting. Let's just quickly see what Tiger can do after these 2 corners, and then we'll switch over to the top 2. There's a lot of chaos. He's trying to do a little switch back, but it doesn't work. He's still stuck.
Looks like he's going to be stuck in this position as K5 has overtaken Jay Morris as the race leader.
There's still at 1.3 seconds behind or in front of Mars, who eventually got to overtake Emu. I think Adiat is doing pretty good as well. He's holding his own on those hard tires, but he's losing quite a lot of time in this 4 laps. He has lost about 2.2 seconds so far, but Jay Morris is back in the slipstream and he has DRS, so he is not using any ERS. He's just using DRS. He's side by side with him now, heading into turn 1, and he's in front of K5 heading into turn 1. Nice move from him, I believe. If I saw it right, K5 was just lifting a little bit, just give him the time to overtake him. But K5 is in his gearbox, looking to overtake him again in this second DRS zone.
Are there any close battles going on?
It's a big gap starting to form between Adiat and Emu. See it on the track map as well. It's quite big compared to the rest of the people. There's a lot of cars in between a second where Adiat is at, as we see Vlov
As
and
Idiot
Adiat
and Flav are fighting.
switching positions a lot as we switch over to him. And look at this. Dredu just got so much out of that battle. He
Capitalized on Idiot and Flav fighting right there. Took the inside line. Wow.
A lot of chaos, and we saw Adia just clearly cut in the corner there, so he must have got a warning. As we see Flav just wing bumping him just a little bit. That almost was a spin. He lost a lot of time during that. 1 second already, so he's out of the DRS zone. So Adiat will be just a duck on the straight. But we see Berkey also tumbling down the order just a little bit, same as Chocolate, but he is in the pit lane.
Chocolate as he's in pits, yes. Yeah, you could see just the pace of the tires between Dre Dude and Idiot on the mediums and the hards, respectively. He was losing about a second a lap, and then he eventually got overtaken, of course, by Dre Dude on the mediums, both 5 laps each. But there's just still so much separating the two compounds right now. Honestly, the front runners being on mediums definitely chose the right strategy today. As you can see, whoever was on the hards and the softs, well, there's no more soft runners anymore after lap 6, but all the hard runners being at the back, just see the pure pace difference in the two compounds.
As we switch over to this top 3 battle again, J Mars, K5 and Mars in between 5/10ths of a second. J Mars still keeping that lead since K5 got that lead, and we have a virtual safety car. I think there's nobody DNF'd and nobody is standing still on the track map, so there might be a lot of debris on the track. I think robot reaction tumbling just a little bit down the order. I think he got some wing damage, so there must be some contact between all that chaos of a battle. As we see on the track map, there's a lot of cars in just one corner, so that's a really big battle for the midfield.
No, I think it was a Alpha Tauri in the back.
How come?
Well, I probably should have spoken up, but I believe it was a dark blue navy gray type of circle that was just sitting still.
Then
Whenever
might have been a
safety
spin.
car was deployed. Might have done a little spin. I think it was at the beginning of sector 2, that real tight right-hander, right before the DRS straight.
But we have green flag running again. There's 3 people driving who entered the pits. I think Chocolate pitted as well, but he is far back from the pack. Oh wait, no, I think it's Comic that's far back from the pack. Chocolate is right behind that. I think we still have Shifty Waza, who's into the pit lane. I think Vlov also pitted and Dredude also pitted. So that's pretty early pit stops for mediums because they're on the hard tires right now. But
Yeah.
K5 is in the slipstream as we see 2 drivers getting 3-second penalty. He's 3/10ths down from him, so the slipstream around here is quite strong as he gained a lot of time to this corner. This right hand, there's not a corner to go side by side with, and they wouldn't go side by side as we had a brief yellow flag in sector 3, and again as Racing retired from the race, and we have a safety car. What happened to him?
Oh wow.
He's
Well,
he's
his
on the pit
car is
straight.
on the pit straight.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
not anymore. That is not a good day.
I think
for
maybe some cheeky oversteer went into the wall. It's a bad day to be Alpha Tauri.
at least the top 3, the top 4 are pitting. Maybe the top 5, the 2 McLarens, only 1 McLaren
I
pitting.
didn't even realize.
The McLaren are double stacking. That's
Oh
interesting.
no!
That's interesting. Because they're pretty close behind. Let's see how this
Not
turns
my
out.
Papayas. Oh,
And it's pretty clean.
Perfectly
Oh,
timed. Oh no!
Sliced bread had to stop just a little bit on to enter the pit box, but it worked quite well. I think Sliced bread gained a lot of positions. Let's just see what the positions are. Wow, where? Oh, here, position change. Yeah, Sliced bread gained
7
a lot from that.
positions. Wow.
P6 when with new tires, and Ghost jumped up in the lead, but he is on old hards. So he will just be a sitting duck when the safety car comes in the pit lane.
Yeah, I don't know why he hasn't pit yet. Maybe he's trying to go for a longer stint on these hards and switch over to softs, but who knows? All the medium runners that just switched over to hards could theoretically complete a one-stop here.
That is pretty difficult because I pitted on lap 7, and I pushed till the end of the lap with hard tires, and I had about 78%. So that is difficult.
It's gonna. I didn't say it was gonna be fun. I said it was possible.
It is definitely possible, but there's only one safety car right now, so they don't have to push the tires that much, and there might be another safety car later on in the race, but we don't know.
Yeah, only one could hope. Another safety car.
Looks like Idiot got rid of the hard tires, put it onto the medium, so he will be the. I think he will be one of the quickest drivers when the safety car comes into the pit lane.
As he goes down that position?
I think that was what happened to him. I think everyone is going so slow, and
they gave him the. Yeah, I gave him the host is allowed.
This is just chaos. Traffic paradise, but not traffic.
This Ghost dictates when we go back to racing, rounding the last corner.
Safety car will be out for one more lap.
One more lap.
I think Comic is not close enough to begin.
Not quite. Yeah. One more lap. So they all get really close together and I don't know. Learn how to be friends, I'm guessing.
Hold hands.
Yes, they're all holding hands side by side.
This is a pretty good timing for Vlov to disconnect because there's a safety car and he disconnected.
Yeah, his safety car. No one can overtake him.
I invited you.
The luckiest time to disconnect.
Idiot is pushing him quite a lot. He's want to get rid of that AI, but Vlov just joined again, so no free overtake for him. As we just wait till the safety car comes in on the end of the lap.
Yep. On the sector 2 straight, coming across the line into sector 2. 3. Through the chicane, not quite to 3 yet.
Alright, like just a little bit. Yeah. I thought the sector 3 was starting here, like after the chicane. Just a little bit on the middle of this straight right here. Oof.
Yeah, right in the middle. Oh, as Tiger gets a 3-second penalty.
That's rough. Under a safety car as well, so that's pretty difficult to do.
Oh, wow.
That's rough for him. It's pretty easy to get penalties around here. The track limits are...
Trust me, I retired with 12 seconds. It was not a good day for me yesterday. Oh.
Yeah, I was P4 and then I dropped down to P7 because I also had the 6 seconds. Big win.
Oh.
Hydration.
Wiki Twitch. Oh, please, no more. I'm hydrated, I promise.
He's gonna drown us again.
Thank you, Twitch.
Thank you. Oh, wait, that's true, Sterry?
Yeah.
Oh,
Pablo
okay.
Chini.
Oh,
No.
Also, okay.
No.
Okay.
No.
We have to cast the start here again. 4 hydrations.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways. I'll hydrate right after the start, but Ghost, he's in control of the pace and he is off. He got quite of a bad start, but he's on
That is not a great
tires.
start.
He's gonna be a sitting duck. I'll drink right now and then we'll see Jay Morris overtaken. Look at that. Look at the speed difference.
Wow.
Side by side with him.
Side by side into turn 3. Down the inside. That is just textbook.
That's really important. He got him out of the way pretty early on the safety car restart, so he can just drive with fresh tires and fresh air. While
he's already a second ahead. As Ghost holds up K5, Mars, Emu, Sliced Bread, everyone behind him, less than a second apart. Pack is forming, they're just a little too scared to overtake.
Mars isn't, as he goes side by side with K5 into the chicane and get that spot, and he is in the slipstream as well. Uses just a little bit of ERS, he wants to get him out of the way pretty early. Little switch back on this fast right corner. Didn't quite get it, but this is kind of... Oh, and she sends it down the inside.
I think Ghost is trying to prod them, telling yes, you're okay, go ahead and overtake me, as they get really close to Sliced Bread. I think there might have been some contact there.
What a beautiful move by Sliced Bread, who is just sneak that position in. He overtook K5 in the process as well, so Jay Moore has got a wonderful got a wonderful head start on this safety car restart. He's
It's
2.6
already
seconds
a
ahead
country mile in the lead
as he takes the fastest lap.
as he takes the fastest lap as well. Could he be on for a 26-point race here? Maybe.
Maybe. The D3 champion. Oh, and there's contact
it's
between Vlov and
contact.
Ghost. Or it could be Vlov
I
and
think-
Emu, because
I think that was
fell
Emu.
back a lot.
I think that was between Emu and Ghost.
That is pretty crucial contact because there might be wing damage involved as robot reaction also tumbles down the other a bit. Emu just touched
think.
Ghost just a little bit too hard and he spins round and Emu already overtakes one person
Oh,
as he goes wide.
I think Emu might have gotten away with no damage there. I don't know if I could say the same for Ghost.
And look at this chaos, side by side, Aston Martin and the Alfa Romeo. Emu says thank you very much as he is side by side with Rafas now. Just burns that ERS, trying to go side by side with him in this long right-hander. Hopefully no contact. And it's a huge crash!
Wow!
And that is a huge crash. What happened to those two drivers? That must have been a huge crash and that's a safety car directly.
Between
Immediately.
Emu and Rafa's.
I just sadly
The
I
safety
wasn't
car
on
is
the,
out.
Sadly I wasn't on the onboard cam. I wish I'd saw that because that was a huge crash. That was like that was so weird to see. They just flew across the screen. That was so weird to see. How
And
are
they're
them
both
two
still
not
in.
out? Yeah.
I think Emu might have lost his front wing, but other than that, I'm not sure there's any other damage.
Yeah, look at that front wing all the way gone. I could say the same thing for Rafas. Oh wait, no, front wing is not gone. But that was really interesting crash, and Rafas just retires immediately.
I think there might have been some rear wing damage for the unfortunate Alfa Romeo.
Because that was a pretty big shunt into the wall as well.
That was a massive shunt.
That's definitely gonna get reported to the stewards, and I'm excited to see what the footage are, because that was interesting. Anyways, I need to fill my hydro flask again. Oh, lucky lap, 5 seconds. Anyways,
I can take it over.
Let's be 2 seconds.
All right. As you can see, the top 4 are currently on those 4-lap-old hards underneath the safety car. The field is relatively similar with the amount of wear on their tires. You've got some medium runners that are around the 4 laps, but those should be able to make it pretty far into the race. Okay. As we can wait for Emu, Chocolate, and Ghost to catch up to the rest of the pack. Probably going to go one more lap with the safety car. I don't know if anyone's going to pit. Doubtful because the field is on relatively fresher tires. I think I'm going to be hydrated for a while. Wow. Yeah. Do one more lap around with the safety car. That was a really bad little lap for Emu there. Had one contact that spun both him and Ghost out, and then had another one coming into sector 3 where he just probably either missed the braking zone or just had some bad sort of contact as 4 people go into the pits. Probably going either onto... You could probably do a stint with mediums here. Yep. So you can see the bottom 4. Idiot being the last one. Yep, bottom 4, all on fresh new 0-lap mediums. That would be pushing Emu back up into 13th with 14 laps remaining. I think I got a screenshot of Q1. I don't know if Rise has a screenshot of Q2 or Q3. We will see once he gets back. I'll ask him. But yeah, that safety car just absolutely shafted whatever lead Jay Morris had. He was okay. Yeah, we'll just pull it from stream if we didn't get Q2, Q3 results. But yeah, Jay Morris clear, maybe 3 seconds in the lead, absolutely shafted by this second safety car. As we see the safety cars back in this lap with Jay Morris leading the pack on 5-lap-old hards. Going into sector 3 now. And the question will be, where is he going to go back onto the throttle as he passes this very high-speed corner that I, for one, do not like, because I don't know how to take it, but that's a little bit of a personal problem and not one that Jay Morris is having right now. So we will focus back in on the legendary Division 3 champion of Season 1. As we can see, Mars and Sliced Bread hot on his trail. As it looks like he's back to racing speed, rounding the final corner back onto the straight with 7/10 separating him and Mars in P2. It was a very good start. As you can see, there's plenty of distance in between the top 3 front runners, all on hards. Going into turn 1, turn 2, the fast switchback. Hugging that outside line, trying not to get a penalty from there.
What a start from Jay Morris.
Yeah.
I just come back and I also got an apple. So, appeltje voor de dorst. All my Dutchies will know that. But anyways, we're back into racing speed. I think Sliced Bread lost a lot of time there, 1.5 seconds to Mars, who is 7/10 behind Jay Morris. So, and as we see in the background, an Alpine going side by side with K5, and he eventually overtakes him on those mediums. There's on the same laps, but the compound softer. So he's going to be rapid. And Salas is already in the top 3 positions as he overtakes Sliced Bread on exit on the chicane, on the long right-hander. Could have been contact. Could have been the same crash as we saw a little moment ago. But
yeah, absolutely nothing separating the Alpine and the McLaren coming into sector 3. Going around the penultimate corner. Now, will Salas be able to make up the more than 2-second gap in between him and P1?
He is 1.5 seconds ahead, behind. But he is in fresh air, so let's see what his true pace is in fresh air. As Comic takes the fastest lap. Yeah, of course he's on 2-lap-old mediums. But Mars is now in the DRS. I think, is DRS been activated yet? I didn't see the notifications.
I don't think it got deactivated.
Okay. So, let me just see on the telemetry. It didn't get activated. Okay. Then then he has to wait another lap to get the DRS activated again. But we have K5 really close. Sliced Bread wanting to overtake him in the chicane. Sliced Bread went a little bit wide. That makes K5 the opportunity to try and switch back in, but it didn't quite work. Suffer for the slipstream at the moment. Heading into sector 2 now. Ooh, there's a yellow. It's Dreadwood.
As he is stopped on track. Yeah, he's completely spun around.
And he is going again. Doesn't seem to have wing damage, front wing damage on the broadcast cam. As DRS gets activated. And
there is the DRS being enabled.
Emu in the pits.
As Emu goes in the pits.
He's on 3 laps, mediums. Must there been another
no.
Dreaded retires.
Must have missed it.
That is really unfortunate. His race is not going good right now, and he had to have a front wing change, so there was contact. So we're gonna see him pop up in the G2 incidents page. But Sayles is losing a lot of time on Mars. I think those mediums are starting to drop off. 3.5 seconds is the gap now, as Lucky Lemmy gets the fastest lap. K5 overtakes him, and Mike overtakes Sayles as well. What a move by him! As
The old 2-for-1 specialist. Sliced bread goes up the inside. Can't make it on the exit of the corner though. What a move.
He opened the race director and scroll down to see everyone. This. Oh my god, there's a lot of pit stops.
Oh wow.
Vlov and chocolate, or Vlov and comic. That is a lot of pit stops. Same as Jedut
Via
and
army is in the mud.
But there's
We
still.
get back to racing.
Yeah, back to racing. Mars is in the DRS of J. Morris. Can overtake him on the second DRS straight. Let's see if he can get close enough to overtake him. Doesn't get quite close enough. Yeah, I think he's just waiting on that second DRS. He's also dragging Mars. J. Morris is also dragging Mars along to increase that gap between him and K5, M5.
Which is just increasing as the laps increase. I mean, that was less than 2 seconds 3 laps ago. He's now expanded that gap to almost 4.
I think the problem was Sayles. His mediums are starting to drop off, and so he lost a lot of time, and then he was just creating a big train, as we see on the track map. I think K5 is losing touch from him, but there's a huge train behind him as well.
As Sayles and Berkey Valiant are now battling it out for P5. Coming out of the Sector 2 chicane, going into Sector 3 down the straight. There's no DRS here, so you have to rely on slipstream and how well you got out of that corner.
And he got well out of that corner. Look how close he is.
Wow.
Couldn't quite
Barely
make a move.
anything separating the two.
Berkey went really wide, but Ghost didn't see an opportunity to overtake him. So he just has to settle behind him. I think Sliced Bread is the one that's losing time now. He was like 1 second half a lap ago, and now he's 2.6. Check the penalties. Here. Lucky Lemon, 10 seconds. That is rough.
It's almost my race yesterday.
Side by side. Ghost overtakes him easily. There was a little swerve of Berkey on the straight. I think he just wanted to break the slipstream, but didn't quite work because Ghost is now in the lead. As Vlov retires.
As Vlov retires.
There's no sixth car just yet, and there's a big crash between Comic and Berkey. No spin just yet. Don't know what happened to them two. As Berkey is just all over the place now, losing 2 positions in the meanwhile, as he is again in contact with Chocolate, who's behind him. As we see the polystyrene blocks, that is
absolutely decimated in the back. Yeah, you could absolutely tell the wear that these mediums have incurred up until this point. Once they hit that lap 7, lap 8, they have a really harsh fallout. And it becomes increasingly difficult to stop and slow down your car whenever it comes to these really fast corners. And I think that little context that we had coming into Sector 2 back there was just the inability for the car to stop under the immense amount of tire degradation that these mediums have, seen and had. But it's most of the field now that are on these older mediums. So you have to think, like, are they going to want to stop for maybe a pair of softs or go on for hards? You don't know. There's already been so many pit stops.
Well, I don't think Sayles can survive 8 laps more of this already on 10 lap old hard or mediums. So he's gonna have a battle with that car.
He's either gonna have a horrible day or he's gonna have a pit stop and try and make up for it.
I don't think so, because just look at that train. If you're gonna pit now, he's probably P14, because they're all like P5 to P11 is between 1 second.
Yeah, and you only have sliced bread and robot reaction that are going to be able to make up. But you got to think those hards are going to fall off in about 5 laps time as well, which would allow for a new fresher pair of mediums or maybe softs in a couple laps time to be able to make up a few seconds. And who knows, maybe another safety car as Comic leaves the session.
Wait, does he need an invite? Hold up. Do I have
Probably.
an added? Don't know. I don't have him added. No! No!
Unlucky!
Okay, I don't have him added, so... Shit. I know I don't. I don't have him added. Damn. I don't have him added. No. This is... oh my god. I don't even have my own... I accidentally invited someone else. But in HDR, so it won't matter that much. But Comic is just dropping down.
Comic
He got an invite from an inside driver, so good for him.
Someone's in his corner. That's good to know.
Yeah. Sailor still trying to make positions. He overtook Sliced Bread on the straight. Those mediums are gonna die off, man. 12-lap-old mediums and still 7 laps to go.
I think they're dead.
Have a rough time.
He's gonna have a very rough time defending from Sliced Bread behind him, who's on, the same age hards, but that compound's gonna be able to last a lot longer than these medium compounds will, especially on their age. I don't believe that those mediums are gonna be able to last another 7 laps, so it's not gonna be a fun race.
As Emu's race gets even worse with a 3-second penalty, as Sliced Bread just sends it down the inside. He's side by side with Sailors now into this.
I think there was some contact there,
which was a good result for the other McLaren. But it was a good result for Sliced Bread. So he got out of that corner alive without absolutely flying across the screen. But a great move. Those overtaking opportunities are just so good. Those fast, flat-out corners where you just overtake someone. It could be a high risk, but high risk is high rewards.
Exactly. That's exactly how you got to play this game.
Sailor's a little bit wide.
Fall out till you fall out.
Choosing the outside corner and then the inside for turn 2. Side by side with him now as he gets contact. And
there's contact and they both spin.
Crash.
Sailors loses his front wing, but is still in the race. Sliced Bread seems to be fine.
I think
there's a virtual safety car.
Room on the inside, and then Sliced Bread just touched him. And I think it was Berkey that was involved in that crash, who also got touched. I don't know how alive he is.
He probably just needs the new pair of underparrots, and he'll be fine.
Yeah, there was.
But that'll force the pit stop. Guessing there was an early safety car. Lap 11 and lap 15.
No,
safety car.
Virtual.
Yep. It's going to be interesting. We need a lot of drivers to pit here for their race to be even
worse.
Competitive.
This gives as a virtual
iMove comes in.
So.
45 seconds down from the rest of the pack. I think that was his 6th pit stop, maybe.
Oh, robot reaction as we go into green lights gets a drive-through penalty. I think he just sped too quick. He was reaching that delta. I think Comic. Not Comic. Berkey has wing damage, so he is gonna go into the pit lane. As Diamonds, let's hear it. Okay, let me just.
Hold on, let me take my headphones off. There you go.
Okay, as we have Moore trying to overtake Jay Morris here for P1's fault, heading into the this tricky sector. He is in a 2/10 range, so he's going to try and overtake him onto the straight. He's not on the straight just yet, but he is in turn 6 and 7. Let's see if he can try and try to overtake him in this DR zone. DRS is going to be open in 2 laps. He's 5 tenths down on Jay Morris. Can he try and make a move on board with him now? He is not burning any ERS. Can he try and make a move into the chicane? He's going to pull a dummy and is not going to make a move just yet.
Okay, now
Am I good?
microphone is wet. Was that a good ear rape? Because I have no clue.
I took my headphones off. It was loud.
Was it loud stream?
No. Perfect.
Yeah. My microphone was like in my mouth, bro. I couldn't even like speak normally. I was like muffling most of the time. But
Yeah,
Marsh
I don't
still-
have a microphone to put in my mouth, but 5 laps remaining. Jay Morris is still leading with Mars close on his tail. K5 M5, the gap ever increasing. 6 seconds now between him and P2.
kind of driving in no man's land at the moment because he's 3 seconds ahead and 6 seconds behind. So he's just driving to just stay here on top 3. He doesn't have any penalties, so let's see if he can keep this way. But this battle is still going on. There's only plus this one is 4 laps remaining. As Jay Morris gets a little oversteer, as Mars also gets oversteer. So Mars just wants to push that throttle just really early, but cannot quite get it as he's 2.6 tenths down in his DRS zone. Can he try and overtake him here? Jay Morris and Mars are fighting for the lead, and Mars gets ahead of the chicane. And that's a beautiful move as Jay Morris trying to still be side by side with him, but it didn't quite work.
You might want to turn on telemetry, see how their fuel is doing.
Alright. Oh, wrong button.
Because this is a track where the fuel you need to overfuel. But the safety car might have saved both of them.
No one is struggling with fuel. Did I see one? No. Nobody is struggling with fuel.
Nope.
And no one has damage, so that's good to see. And so we have a yellow in sector 2, and it's Aston Martin of Shifty Wazu, who might have been spun around. I don't think I see any.
Not my D3 baby.
I don't think I see any damage, so he can continue, but he is driving also as well in no man's land.
Just a little bit of a spin.
Yep, I
Turn
think
to
he
the
got touched
ballerina.
from behind.
Oh, it's my favorite type of Saturday night. But anyways.
Anyways,
Who said that? Alright, can I have a hydrate, please?
Oh, Jay Morris cut that corner quite a lot. I think I reckon he got a warning from that, but I don't think he got a penalty. I mean, obviously
Still
because
looking really clean at the front.
Jay Morris into the DRS zone now on Mars. Can he try and overtake him? The positions have changed. Mars goes defensive. Is Jay Morris ahead of the chicane? And he is. As Robo's reaction comes into the pit for Softs, I think he's trying to go for the fastest lap. Does he have enough ERS? I don't know, but Mars is still going side by side with him in this fast right-hander. He gives him enough space. What a move from Mars. He just needs to survive 3 more laps. As Mars has more ERS level, it has a more higher ERS than Jay Morris.
You got to think there's going to be about 3 or 4 times this position changes per lap with only 3 laps remaining. The fight for P1 is going to be the battle of the century between Mars and Jay Morris, former D3 champion, upgraded to D2 status, full-time for Mercedes this season. Has put on a show for the past 2 weeks, but he's looking to claim his first victory in Division 2.
Jay Morris has 3 laps to prove that he is a D3 champion, and he is trying to go and overtake him now as they go again side by side into the chicane. They're still side by side heading into the chicane. Mars can try and switch back him and that was, I think, really close to a corner cut. And Mars is still they're still side by side with him, with each other, heading into again this fast right-hander where they were side by side 1 lap ago, and it's still going cleanly, not like Emu did or whatever that was.
Gotta remember, keep it clean. This is where it really counts.
No mistakes, no track limits, because if you get 1 track limit, they're so close to each other. If Mars or J Morris can gets a track limit, then one of the two can just chill out and just drive till the race is over and not having to worry about fighting that much, as J Morris is still in the slipstream.
As Morris goes on the defensive, picks the inside, down the DRS pit straight. J Morris taking the outside line into turn 1 through to turn 2. Clean overtake.
This is just clean racing all around for these two drivers. No contact, no mistakes, and just beautiful overtakes around the outside, around the inside. Side by side with each other, 2 corners you can't even go side by side with. It's just these two drivers, they're so fast, and only one can be a winner here, as there's only 1 point. There's only like 1.5 laps remaining as Mars goes down the inside in the chicane again. Can J Morris try and catch him? Maybe for a switchback. Not capable of doing that just yet. But there's still, I think, 1 lap remaining plus this one.
Absolutely parked the brakes coming out of that chicane, trying to mitigate the possibility of a possible switchback into the DRS or into the straight. So they come into sector 3 now. Mars in the lead.
I didn't even notice how many penalties there are.
Well, I'd say quite a bit.
That is a lot of penalties. Over 70% as the penalties.
11, 12, 13 penalties across the board right now. That's quite a bit.
Anyways, this is the final corner, or the final lap. This is what it's all about. J Morris.
You really do want to be in P2 coming out of that DRS straight, because it'll allow you to get DRS coming into the Sector 2 DRS straight, where overtaking possibilities are a little bit easier. Ooh, as he takes a very late apex, loses a bit of time. Still under half a second in between the two.
This is
70% battery remaining.
Compared to 50%, this is the chance that J Morris is gonna get side by side with him for the final time into the chicane. They're still side by side, maybe into the chicane. No, Mars lets him go, which could be the crucial option that he might stay P2 here. But he's gonna settle for ERS and the slipstream. He can't send it down the inside on this corner because it's a flat out corner. J Morris is still in the lead. Can Mars try and go down the inside? That's a really dangerous corner, but J Morris leaves him the space, but Mars couldn't quite put his Red Bull in between him and the Mercedes, and I think this might be it. They both have fought amazing races. J Morris has absolutely dominated qualifying. There's one straight left, and I don't think Mars can catch him up. He doesn't really have a lot of ERS levels. And J Morris has more ERS levels. Coming down to this final straight, I don't think Mars can catch him, and it's J Morris who wins the French Grand Prix. What an absolute battle for P1 here. Wow, that was one heck of a race as K5 comes across the line to set for P3. Ghost with an absolute great race, settles for P4, and Comic down to P20. What a race he has had. Adiat stays P6, and I think he qualified P6. Chocolate has a 6-second penalty, so they switch positions with sliced bread, and Shifty overtakes Chocolate and Tiger 6's Gamer for the positions. As Tiger 6's Gamer goes to P10, Berkey sets P11, Salas is only going to get P12, so the last point of this race. Emu is just the most unlucky race for him. He settles for P13. and I think Robot Reaction P14, and I don't saw who was P15, but what a heck of a race that was.
Absolutely. What a race. Plenty of clean driving from the front. Very unfortunate circumstances that took out the former winner of the Division 2 Singapore from last week. It took him out of contention for points. He didn't DNF though, so I'd say that was a win so far. Yeah, what a race.
This was a heck of a race, especially for the top two. Mars and J Morris absolutely put up the best fight of the season just yet. In my opinion, this was the best fight of HDR. This was just amazing battling side by side through corners. You can't even go side by side with constant position shifts, constant DRS overtakes down the inside, around the outside. It was just an amazing battle from this race for him as well. But Mars was just not quick enough for P1, but he is happy with P2. Jay Morris, he is P1 for the first time. He's absolutely dominated qualifying, and he put up a good result. That's absolutely amazing. Here are your positions. Here are your results. I'm gonna have to go back and screenshot this because I don't know how to screenshot on PC.
Windows key Shift S.
Windows key Shift
S.
Windows key Shift S. I think I did it.
Or F12.
Oh, well, never mind. Well, I'll just look it back.
You could just go back and get it later.
Yeah.
Are we doing interviews?
If someone wants to join, maybe.
Let's move to voice chat so someone can actually join.
Yeah. Let's move over to the voice channel. Do you guys have a black screen just yet? But let's just see. Can you put out a tag that someone can join the comms if someone wants to join?
Stay in here for maybe a couple minutes, see if anyone wants to join.
It was the most entertaining race ever.
As we have our first interviewee, Idiot.
Idiot.
Yeah.
How you doing, man?
I mean, depends. Because that was an interesting race, very interesting.
Lots of clean driving. I gotta say, you did amazing in Q2. What a lap you put together.
Well, yeah, Q2, not Q3.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's still a good lap. How did you feel after that? Did you have any hope that you'd be able to match that in Q3?
Well, to be honest, myself, I couldn't believe I did that lap. And then my Williams teammate said, "Calm down, it's only Q2." And then he had every right to, because I didn't do as good in the Q3. But from that Q2 session, it gave me a lot more confidence in the race. But unfortunately, a bad few calls from myself. I don't know why. I pitted twice under the safety car, ended up last, but recovered to P6. So I can't do much on that.
It was a good drive. I didn't see you facing the wrong way around, so I'd say it was a win today. I'm not gonna lie to you. Well, thank you for coming through. We really enjoyed watching you race, and we can't wait for next week.
Yeah, thank you, Nick.
All right, have a good one, and we'll move on to our next interviewee, which is Mars.
It is Mars. Damn.
Yeah, let's go.
Dude, how do you feel battling the entire race? You must be sweating.
Yeah, I'm absolutely sweating, man. It was honestly one of the best races I've ever had. Honestly, I don't even mind not winning. Jay Morris deserved it so much. He was so much quicker than me, but I had trouble hanging on. But so yeah, I had to start fighting him early so I could stay with him. But yeah, he managed to stay ahead at the end. So yeah, like he said in the chat as well, like in the last 5 laps, there wasn't a moment we thought we were gonna touch wheels. Like we were, I think both of us raced really cleanly, and yeah, it was so enjoyable.
It just seemed like you two were in sync the last 10 laps of the race, man. It was just back and forth in the Sector 2 DRS straight. It was really beautiful racing. It's what it comes down to. Is there wasn't any contact, no touching, no wheel binging. It was just clean overtakes for the last 10 laps, and there was probably about 30 overtakes. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
Yeah,
It's
it was
just back
really
and forth
fun.
and back and forth. But it was just a blast watching you two fight it out. P2, not anything to scoff at. Very good result. Is there anything that you want to add, Rice?
no, I think that's all. You
Okay.
drove an amazing race, and congratulations.
Thank you, thank you.
Well,
Hope you enjoyed it.
yeah, I really enjoyed it.
One question though, did you catch my switchback in the chicane? Because I wanted to record it, but I forgot to save replay once again.
I think we've watched you you fighting for the last 10 laps. So if it happened in the last 10 laps, then yes.
Yeah, we definitely got it. If it happened,
Perfect.
yeah.
'Cause we watched you for like the half of the stream because it was just so entertaining. But
Yeah, yeah.
well, anyways,
Right.
thank you for coming out, and I'm excited to see what you can do next week.
How was the commentating with Stu, by the way?
It was good. I think, yeah,
It's fun.
it was pretty clean in my opinion.
Yeah.
How do you
I
feel
just need to
about
get
it?
onto I need to get onto a PC that'll actually run F1, so you don't have to worry about inviting.
Oh, good.
I need to go back and log into it off my laptop. But anyways, thank you for coming through. Really enjoyed watching your race. Can't wait to see you next week. Um, and we'll move on to our next interviewer, which is Danathan.
Jonathan, I think that's sliced. Wait, who is that again? It's
No,
Sayless.
it's Sailor.
Sayless.
Sayless,
Okay.
yeah. Well,
Sayless, what a race. We were watching you up until about the last virtual safety car, and you were on like 12 lap old mediums, and we were just counting down the laps. We were like, this guy has to pit soon. He's gonna lose like 18 positions. Like it
Yeah,
just seemed like the fight never ended for you, and then the virtual safety car came in. It saved. Did you end up finishing the race on those mediums, or did you pit
I
towards the end
did.
there?
I did finish the race. Obviously, I had the incident with sliced bread in T1.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it could have been my fault, but also I was ahead going into the corner, so
yeah, we had it on live stream, and we were there like full on. So
I don't want to. I
Like,
don't want to like come out and be like, yeah, it was his. It was 100% his fault. I feel like I've got to accept some responsibility, some responsibility for it. But I'm also like gutted because I can't lie. The tires felt good at the end of the race. They obviously they were worn, but I didn't feel that much slower.
okay. Well, I mean, it seemed like you were keeping up with the hards in front of you pretty well. I mistook Tire Deg from Mars and Jay Morris just speeding off into the distance, but it seemed like you were losing a little bit of pace after about 7 or 8 laps of those mediums being on, and then unluckily, the T1 incident between you and Sliced Bread. We were watching that and we were like, okay, and it looks like Say Less is taking the inside line, and they're both facing the wrong way. But I
Yeah.
mean, other than
No, it
that, it
wasn't a good
was.
moment. It wasn't a good feeling.
Yeah, I
Especially
mean,
because we'd been battling for so long as well, and it had been clean. Like it was
seven
really
or eight
good.
laps, it seems.
It's just I was so gutted, and I feel really bad. But
Yeah, but
I
other than that, really good, really clean race.
Yes,
And
mate.
I just want to thank you for coming on, doing the interview, and we will see you next week.
Yeah, cheers, bro. See you then.
Yep, and we will move on to our next and final interviewee, which is Chocolate.
chocolate,
Chocolate.
chocolate.
Hello.
How you doing? How you doing?
I'm feeling okay. And you?
I'm doing great, man. I mean, I
Nice.
didn't prepare a lot of questions, so do
Yeah.
you have any questions, Husky?
Um. Well, I don't know, but I'm fairly certain I saw a Alpha Tauri plow through a styrofoam board at the end of the race. I think it might have been you. There was some contact with, I believe, you and an Aston Martin.
Yeah, the first contact with him was I don't know which corner it is, but after the Leclerc corner,
Yeah.
and there I got
The
wing
Leclerc
damage.
corner. Oh my god.
I love it.
I love it so
And
much.
then I had a better run into the Leclerc corner from the chicane than Aston, and I was at least a bit there, maybe half, and I tried to send it, and then it, yeah, I span, then yeah, then I was with Idiot, and I tried the same thing, but I span, and yeah, in the end it was a cool fight with Sliced Bread, but it was all in all a shit race. I hate France.
Oh, you're not the
I'm
only
right there
one,
with
brother.
you.
You're
I'm
not the
right there
only
with
one.
you.
Yeah, we are right there with you.
But yeah, it seemed like you had a pretty anonymous race. There wasn't much going on, so kept it pretty clean. But yeah, I think that's all the time we have for interviews. But yeah, all good race. Do you have any closing notes, Rice?
No, I don't have any closing notes. I mean, no, actually not. I'm so unprepared. I'm so sorry. I'm so unprepared. I'm not really good at freestyling questions or whatever, so I just want to
That's all
say,
good. That's
yeah,
where I come in.
GG's. Yeah.
Oh, I got one thing to say. Papaya Army will be back next week.
Oh my, oh my god. I think
That's all I'm gonna
I think
say.
sliced bread put up like it was
Yeah.
huge. Well, again, he went to P20 to P5, so we still got some good constructor points.
He's P6, P7, maybe.
Yeah,
But still, great race.
yeah.
But
Let's switch
we
back
will.
to the comms, VZ.
Yep. Where is it?
Nut.
Nut.
Don't worry about it.
All right. Well, let's close it here. I want to thank you guys for watching this. Probably the most entertaining race of HDR so far in this season. And yeah, thank you for watching. You have anything to add, Husky?
No, we will see you tomorrow after the sprint race is over in Coda with D1 Racing in France.
All right. I'll see you then. Bye.
All right, yeah.